What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Opendoor, I want to go over some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is down 2.62%, 732 the low, 784 the high. So we are seeing a lot of volatility today because there's a certain level of optimism in the broader market and plus a lot of fear. So it's kind of going back and forth a little bit. Aside from that, we're seeing very low volume in Opendoor as well as the broader market. So 89.8 million shares being traded, 301 is the average. Nothing really coming out from Opendoor today. So no SEC filings, no press releases, no speculative topics. You have Kaz bringing up on social media about the upcoming Q3 earnings, which is slated for November the 6th. He did answer someone's comment right here and looks like he's humoring to live stream it as well on Twitter. So that would be pretty unique. But even Amit right here, so we've seen Amit and Eric go back and forth a little bit. So it looks like he is paying attention to Opendoor. So definitely good to see a lot of bigger accounts paying attention to Opendoor. Aside from that though, Eric hasn't really posted all that much. So if you are following him, he still does believe and is doubling down on the $82 price point. So if you do believe in it, definitely keep averaging down, do what you need to do. But like I said, nothing really speculative did come out as far as today. Just a lot of optimism slash fear. And the optimism is coming from Powell. So with his comments that came out yesterday, they're considering multiple cuts. But because of the fear with China right now, I do believe that the market is waiting to fully price this in. So right now there's a 97.8% likelihood for a 25 basis point cut for the upcoming meeting on October the 29th. And then moving over to the December 10th, you have a 94.7% likelihood of a following 25 basis point cut. So once the market does start to price this in, then you'll see the market just explode. So that could be a pretty good catalyst. Just we need things to really calm down with China. So China's been stating some pretty bold things lately, saying that they're going to disrupt a lot of supply chain. You have Besant as well, urging the World Bank to end support for China. So it's going back and forth. Luckily enough, like I said, Powell said what he did yesterday. If not, today would be a very red day across the board. So again, might be a positive thing, might be a negative thing. I'll leave it up to you guys to make that determination. Aside from that, shorts are increasing about 224,000 shares. 21.9% of the free flow is being shorted, works out to be 155.6 million shares overall being shorted. Cost of our average still relatively low, so 2.08%. Shorts surprisingly have been increasing though, despite everything in the broader market. So shorts are going from about 19.23%, which was on September the 25th, to where we are now. I don't see us getting back to kind of where we were back in July, end of July, where it was like at 34-35%, but still I do feel like they will be piggybacking off of the negativity in the broader market and start getting back to where it was, which was probably around 24-25%. So something again to keep in mind. Hopefully with Opendoor's upcoming earnings, they really hit a home run based on the key metrics as well as give good future guidance. That could be a good reason for shorts to kind of get out. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But interestingly enough, even on social media, Kaz has been very, very quiet. So for those of you that kind of been watching and looking at what he's posting, he posted this 3 hours ago and then that's pretty much it. He hasn't really been doing all that much, nor has he been really replying to anyone. So it is what it is. One thing as well to take note of though, if you always like to kind of speculate on what might be coming based on a lot of the big banks, they were actually one common thing of all the earnings was consumers are strong. So that of course helps Opendoor's business. I know generally a lot of people have been saying that, but it was reiterated as well across all the big banks. And yeah, that's good. And at the same time, delinquencies are a little bit lower than what was being priced in. That was stated by Jeremy, the CFO at JPM. So let me know your general thoughts on that. Moving over to options, we had 16 million in calls, 7.8 in puts. 45% of all the options being done so far are bullish in nature. So despite us consolidating a little bit today, people are remaining optimistic. From the bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 8 to 850. So a nice recovery is still anticipated. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub kind of $7, $7.50 to $7. So there's a little bit more upside, but clearly shows again some level of hesitation. And this is why most likely we are experiencing a little bit lower volume across the board. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market. So 5.02, 1.1, and that's pretty much it. But you do see a lot of big buys. So despite us being red, I think a lot of that has to do with shorts and algorithmic trading. So we've been experiencing relatively low volume lately, but algos have been pretty much making up a good 50 to 60% of that, whereas shorts roughly around 30%. So something to keep in mind. Moving over to the dark pool, you're seeing a little bit of more transactions, but still frequency is very low. So 1.5 being the highest, 1.1, 1.07, 1.07, 1.03, and so forth. So still, again, matches with the lower volume. Right now with it at 745, it is right above this S1. So 738 is going to be that key support you really want to watch for Opendoor to hold today, if you're going to see a recovery into the next couple trading days. So most likely that'll be kind of that key point for today as well as tomorrow. 685 is going to be a strong support, and then 824 is going to be that next strong target / resistance point. Aside from all of that fun stuff, quickly popping over to the chart. So it is right now below that 10-day moving average, so not necessarily the best. Shows that the momentum isn't necessarily there, but luckily enough it hasn't actually touched that 50-day moving average, so that is sitting at 632, and if it does break below that, then this is where you could see some very real significant consolidation. Looking at the market position though, for today, you do see a little bit comparing today versus yesterday, not really much change. A little bit more willing sellers, but still nothing really crazy. So it goes to show that the true institutions aren't really doing all that much. Like I said, even going over here, algos are making up for the majority of the volume. So again, something to keep in mind, and nothing really crazy as far as articles or news. You have Bazinga talking about rate cuts, and that's pretty much it. A lot of options analysis, and just so you're aware, right here, this is some of the largest options being done today, so you can kind of pause it and go through it if necessary, but looks like a lot of bets for this upcoming Friday. Largely one bullish one, the rest are bearish. So again, feel free to take the time and go through that if necessary, but I think for right now, a little bit of consolidation is still going to be fairly healthy. I think Opendoor came in, Kaz and many other new executives have their work cut out for them, and so yeah, I think it's not going to be a overnight success. It will take time, so if you do believe in it, anticipate a lot more volatility in the foreseeable future, possibly even touching this 50 or even 100-day moving averages in the foreseeable future. But bigger picture, as what Eric said, if you like it, then $82 is kind of on the table. And I've mentioned this time and time again, for those of you that do believe that $82 or even 10, 20 or whatever is realistic, look at doing options. So you can make some pretty serious money, even if you think it is going to go to, let's say, $9 realistically, which is a 20 or 21% move from these where it is currently. And if you choose, let's say, November 21st as a expiry date, you can make roughly around 48.62% just based on the long calls. So take the time to research options. It can be very profitable and very beneficial if you believe in the stock. And it's kind of funny how the sentiment always works. So typically when things sell off, people panic, and then they look back in the past and say, hey, you know what, that was an optimum time to buy. Just, we are in the time when Opendoor is consolidating. So if you do believe in it, maybe 2 months from now, you'll look back to this time and wish that you bought. So again, do whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to get you to buy nor sell. If you do believe in it going higher, you could definitely make some money through options, or if you actually think it's going to go down, let's say to $3, which does work out to be a 59% decrease from these prices, you can make almost about 867% through puts. So again, whatever floats your boat, whether you're bullish or bearish, consider options. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and take a look at that. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.